We are live. You have the Porter brothers, Bruce Porter Jr., David Porter. We do our Global Boost Media, decentralized media notes, and now we are live on TV in Texas, in Louisiana, and we are streaming across our platforms. Of course, we've been in the crypto scene since 2013, and we've traveled the world going to multiple conferences, bringing great insight. And so now we're looking at some of the market and the values and looking at some of the companies that have been being financed. And we have Bruce on the road going to speak in New York or New Jersey, one of the city areas there. Can you hear us, Bruce?
Yes. How are you, David?
Yeah, doing very well, doing very well. Here at the house, you're on the road. So that's good news. The markets have been pretty volatile today in a good way, moving up. And and it was a great show earlier and a nice talk with Matthew Dixon on his Avea platform, really showing what could have happened in the last 4 hours. And it looks like he was right about his target pricing.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, it has been pretty nice to see a movement like that. We have major pump there. Hold on one second here as I do this. Okay.
Yeah, take your time. Be careful.
Ha ha ha. Let me just.
Are you
I
are you
guess.
supposed to arrive at a certain hour?
Yes, which is why I'm driving.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I am
I hear
going
you.
to show this beautiful chart here. Let's see here. You're on your computer as well, right, David?
Yeah. So anything you want me to pull up, just let me know.
All right, so here is the very pretty chart that we have.
Yes.
A nice big move. What
Yes.
happens if I
You-
move? I have two things going here.
I could add another to the stage and see what happens.
Tell you what to do. Add me on mobile, and then you share the screen, and then go over to my Twitter.
Okay.
Let's talk about the post that I
So
put out.
here's two. Okay. So now you're on the dash cam.
Okay, dash cam, and then let's mute.
And
All right, good. And you can mute my computer too if you want, if you're getting any type of feedback. All right, so as you see, guys, we have a big movement there on Bitcoin and silver. David, can you switch the screen, head over to my my Twitter feed, my X feed?
yeah, I'm pulling up your Twitter.
Great. I guess I could as well if
I'll have
it's
that up
easier
in
for
a
me to
moment.
do it. Okay. Nice
No,
move. The thing,
well,
we talked.
it's probably easier for me to do it.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that we spoke about this morning on the show was we talked about gold and silver, right? And those really starting, probably more than likely starting to move. Silver moves in a positive way, usually in a good when the economy is good or when the markets are going up, when industry and whatnot are doing well. So nice move on there. You got my screen or what? Okay.
Yeah, so we can see your Twitter.
Perfect.
You're looking at silver now.
Yes, we're looking at silver now. You can make that larger so that the people can see it. So what we have here is a nice move on silver. They have been keeping, in my not so humble opinion, you maybe just enlarge the screen. I'm not sure if you can. Yeah, there you go. They've been keeping the price of silver artificially low. I'm going over a bridge here, so I may cut out for a second as I switch towers. And that has been, that is why, in a lot of our opinion, the price of silver is so low. But you see a very marked movement here. I want you guys, if you are not putting, and again, we're not financial advisors. I feel like I have to say that all the time. If you're not putting money into gold and silver, then your U.S. dollars are just being inflated. Okay, and that's obviously not a good situation to be in. So go to @costmetals, @costmetals.club. That forwards you to @costmetals.com. You register there, and it's free to register, and you can buy gold and silver at cost. But you can see nice move here. Very, in my opinion, silver is very undervalued. We could see a double here pretty quickly. You know.
Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead and continue on to the next one down. I think the next one I talked about was gold.
Gold, it's holding its gains.
Holding, yes, gold is holding its gains. So gold has been flirting around this, 1980, $1,980 to like $2,050 for quite a while now, and it's holding those gains. Again, I expect these are assets that when there's turmoil in the world, people want to be in gold. They want to be in precious metals, and of course, as we see on the market, they also want to be in things like Bitcoin and stuff like that. Now, Bitcoin, guys, is different than some of these other tokens. You have a lot of tokens, right, that are out there. And those tokens are similar to the US dollar in the fact that they can be frozen and seized and taken by court order and all these types of things. So if they don't like what you're saying, if you're, on X talking about different things that they don't like, then, and there's not even like it could even be worse in the sense that if you have the wrong person in charge, they could seize or freeze your tokens. Okay. So, the old blockchains that are proof of work, and if you wanted to learn more about this, reach out to me directly, but we talk about it quite a bit. But the old proof of work blockchains like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Global Boost, which is ours, full disclosure, which is our chain, Global Boost that we started. It's a fork of Bitcoin. It's just like Bitcoin, 29 million only. Those coins are decentralized, and in the sense that there's no central authority. David and I have walked away from the company, came back, and this darn thing was still going. 2016, we decided it was more important to get Trump elected than it was to, if we felt that if the other person had won, that business was going to go so sour or so south that it didn't matter anyway. And so we completely walked away from the company, and we came back. And it was still going, and people were still, mining it with their computers, and they were still trading it in. And that is a true decentralized currency. You saw with Litecoin, Charlie Lee also sold all of his holdings and basically walked away. And it still continues. The blockchain still continues. And so that's pretty interesting. And of course, Bitcoin, everybody knows. Nobody knows the founder of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a true, it's decentralized, the original decentralized currency, and pretty amazing thing. That has gone. We initially were buying Bitcoins at $70, just to give you an idea how long that we've been in, and we've been leading this monetary revolution, and that's what we have right now. It's a monetary revolution, and we're leading that monetary revolution for about a decade now. And it's very important, guys. The Federal Reserve is in control of the money supply. And as long as we are in this paper money, I mean, think about it, even like you go and you work and you earn value. And what do? They give you paper money or even digital money. People are worried about the CBDCs, but the reality is that your money is already digital. 90% of the US dollar is already digital. So it can be seized and frozen and everything else. And then the paper money, of course, that as well. They have different serial numbers on it. It can be tracked. There's now a strip in there. They know what every dollar is. And so maybe they're not using all of that right now, but that money is totally and completely controlled. You don't think it's controlled, and they're maybe not micromanaging it at this very moment. But hold up a $100 bill or a $20 bill to the light, and you'll see a nice strip going through there. And every single bill is tracked, and they know everything about it, really. So that paper fiat money. But think about it: you go and you work, and then they pay you in paper. They pay you with paper, and they say, "Hey, it has this value," and you're allowed to use it, or digital, right? And you're allowed to use it as long as you don't make anybody that upset. And that's basically what we're dealing with here. And so you need to, the way that we take the power back, I should say, the way that we take the power back to from these people is get in gold, get in silver, we get in old blockchains that they can't control, they can't inflate, they can't seize. Bitcoin, Litecoin, global boost like that. All right, let's move down. Make sure to go to @costmetals.club. You can join right there. We are still in pre-launch, but launching very soon. And that, I'm telling you guys, is the best prices I've seen. I showed my friend who buys gold and silver all the time. And as soon as I showed him those prices, he says, okay, I'm in. All right, let's scroll down to my next post there, David.
Well, we're looking at the Dow, which is pretty steady.
The Dow, okay, I'm sorry. The Dow is still flat, right? It's just flat. The Dow is flat.
So let's roll to something more exciting, unless you want to talk about that. But Bitcoin is up over $1,000.
Yeah, I do have a little bit to say about the Dow, because the Dow has been pumped quite a bit up until this point. And so, what you're seeing there is, I wouldn't say exhaustion, but, they pumped it a lot. And so stocks, S&P 500, NASDAQ, they've pumped it a lot. And as we talked about with Matt in the morning, I would expect some pullback there, even though they're going to print the money a lot. And then as well, everyone's waiting for this the Fed meeting. So the Fed's going to have their meeting, and they're going to talk about inflation on Wednesday. And so everyone's kind of, they're tepid. They're tepid, right? People are like, well, I don't know if I really want to make big moves right now. Let's see what happens. Obviously, if Jerome Powell comes out and he is hawkish, meaning that, hey guys, we're going to need to keep interest rates high. We may raise them some more, or even just really kind of make some comments to that effect. Maybe the economy is not doing as well as he wants. Inflation is still bad. We're going to keep working on it. Whatever he says, everyone's going to be listening really, really closely to that. And that's going to affect everything. That's going to affect crypto. That's going to affect the US dollar. And then the US dollar, of course, that affects everything, right? Because the US dollar goes down, stocks, crypto, other assets, they go up. And if the dollar value goes up, then these other assets, they go down. And that's just the correlation that we have there. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I know if you are trading, this chop is nice to make some money on, but definitely be careful. Set your stop losses, and don't play with anything more than you are willing to lose. And that's really always what you should do. And speaking of that, we are live. I wanted to say on Smart Money Culture TV, smartmoneyculture.tv. You can also always watch us online. We're live in Texas, and we are live in Texas and Louisiana at 5 a.m. in the morning with Impact Money and 11 a.m. with the Porter Brothers. I really appreciate that partnership. So we just went to commercials there. So I'm gonna continue. So yeah, I will be watching. with very, very closely, right? At what ends up happening here, what the Fed says, how that's and how that is taken into consideration. I don't know. I might have some open trades on the morning, just to catch. But it's a position. So you are warned, as I always say. All right. So go ahead. Next one. You can go ahead and scroll down, dude.
Sure. Yeah, we're looking at Bitcoin on a tear. It's up over $1,000 in an hour.
Bitcoin on a tear. That's what they do, guys. They just go straight up or they go down, and that's what they like to do. These professional markets and professional traders, and they have the AI and everything that are working in these as well. And straight up, and then up a little more as people close their positions or enter shorts, and then up a little more to make everybody sweat it.
If it stays in this direction in the morning, we'll have to play our Pump It Up anthem. Like you said, it is quite well manipulated, so they do draw people in, and you have to be careful, especially on these margins.
Am I back? I'm back.
Yes.
All right, so I'm on the road. Obviously.
It's not your first live stream on the road.
This is not my first live stream on the road. I'm a professional. Do not try this at home.
No.
Or on the road.
Yeah.
As it is. So let's talk some more about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the original. It's the original decentralized currency or blockchain. I hesitate to call it a currency. It's not really a currency. What it is information. Global Boost is the same, right? So you have Global Boost, you have Litecoin, you have Bitcoin, you have a few other ones, and really what it is information. And the information is stored on different computers around the world. And so if we have an EMP attack, then it might knock out my computers, it might knock out my stuff, but they're not going to EMP attack the whole world. Those blockchains, the blockchain is going to live somewhere else, and I'm going to be able to, once my internet comes back on, get onto that blockchain, put in my seed phrase, and I'm going to be able to retrieve my my coins and retrieve what I got. Did you lose me again?
No, I'm just playing with the cameras.
Okay, cool. So that's and this is something new to the world. This is like there's never been something like this in the world, and that's why I always tell people: you need gold, you need silver, you need obviously you need some cash. Okay, you need cash too, and you need crypto. You need a Bitcoin, Litecoin, or a Global Boost, something that can't be frozen, can't be sold, seized, can't be like. I have my seed phrase memorized, and I don't need anything. I mean, I travel around the world. I don't need anything. I don't need any hardware. I don't need a phone. I don't need a computer. I don't need a thumb drive. I don't need anything. And I can get to my destination. I can get to a computer or get to a phone or something like that, and then enter in my seed phrase and pull that out from there. And when we are in times like we are now, that is really, really important. And that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin price is so high, and another reason why it's gonna continue. So, in my opinion, now you have some big guys now that own a lot of it, okay, and they're able to control the price a lot. So be careful about that. Litecoin, I think, is still undervalued in my opinion. They call that the silver of Bitcoin. Global Boost, I firmly believe, is quite undervalued. As we put together this decentralized media network as well, giving it new uses, this 10-year-old chain that we have, we're in our 10th year. So those things are going to be important. Those things you're going to want to do. And then think about as well what we have going on in the world right now. Think about Trump. Think about the fact that we have half of the republic that is, we have half of the republic that is basically against the other half, or at least taking sides against the other half. So we have half of the country who basically is like, all right, whatever, people can come in illegally as much as they want, it appears like. And then you have the other half of the country who's like, okay, we're willing to help Texas out, to send some of our National Guard troops, to send money, to send aid, and to do these things in order to stop this influx of illegal migration. And to be very clear, I'm not against migration. I'm against illegal migration. We need to know who these people are. But if you look at why we are not able to control the situation, and then as much as I love Trump, I've always been a Trump guy. I've been a Trump guy since the beginning. I've always been a Trump guy. But how much is he going to be able to do remains to be seen. He did a lot last time, but I mean, was he really able to close the faucet? Like, not really, And then, like, how much is he going to be able to do remains to be seen. How that plays out. And the big reason why that we don't have control is because the central bank is the one who's really running what is going on. You have the central bank, and the central bank is calling the shots. The central bank prints the money. They're the ones who control the purse strings. I mean, I'm sure we've all heard that before, right? Like, the person who controls the purse strings is the person who is in charge. And I used to think when I was growing up and when I was a kid, the person who controlled the purse strings was Congress. But even over the last few years, like, I can remember, like, we were having funding bills originate in the Senate, which is totally against the Constitution. And gosh, that is really strange. Why is the Senate bringing up these bills when the constitutional authority for the purse is with Congress? And then as I started really and understanding even more, I mean, I've been preaching this for a while, but really understanding how much control that the central bank, which is our Federal Reserve, nothing federal about it, owned by a few families, how much control they have. And when I say owned, I know, go to Google and ask Google. They'll tell you, oh, no, it's not. And there's a board of governors and this and that. It's held by private families. It started and it's held by private families. It started by the Rothschilds, the Morgans, and the Rockefellers back in 1913. 1913, okay? And this just happens to be the same year that they started the IRS. And we went to war a year later. We went into World War I. And so these wars, Dad always used to tell us, right, David, that all wars are bankers' wars. And that's true. It really is true. All wars are bankers' wars. And these guys are making a killing with this. It's really crazy.
Yeah, I do see what he meant there, and I think that's a big thing that's happening with Russia. It is over the money and the resources which the banks are trying to control.
It's always about the money, right? It's always it's about money and control, which are pretty much synonymous with each other. So pretty crazy. All right, so let's go back to my screen. I know I shared some more stuff. What other good stuff?
Yes, we got Trump, and it looks like Ron Paul, I think.
And what?
Should be. Let me see. I'm trying to bring it up.
Sharing the wrong thing, I think. Okay.
There we are.
Do you think that Trump and the governor of Texas can save America? Let me know, guys. Let us know. Do you think that Trump and Governor Abbott can save America? What do you think, David?
Well, Governor Abbott, he's definitely stepping it up and putting himself on the line here. He's really putting himself out there. He is appearing to do what needs to be done, but needed to be done a long time ago, which is finally starting to happen. And it's better late than never. So I do think that we'll achieve the goal of securing ourselves there. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a constant push. But if, like I've been telling you, if enough people stand for it, then this will happen.
Well, that's absolutely correct, guys. And and I always I always kind of go back to the monetary revolution because nobody wants any shots, right? We don't want a bloody war. Nobody wants that. And I'm not in any way promoting that or saying we should do that or anything. Okay, our message around the world has always been a peaceful monetary revolution. We take the power back from the bankers, from the central bankers who are controlling us, who are controlling our Congress. They've bypassed Congress. They've bypassed the White House. They are running policy around the world. The central bank has come into all these different countries. Russia, though, they do not have a central bank. Did you know that?
Well, that's what's
Syria,
most interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
these last
Syria.
few countries that we've been attacking are not on our Federal Reserve Central Bank.
Gaddafi, he tried to get out of the central banking system, and Hillary made sure that that didn't happen. Oh,
Yes.
Hillary, man, those people, that administration, I'll tell you what, they dropped something like a bomb or drone somebody, as she said, just drone them like every hour or every 30 minutes during their administration. Unbelievable amount of people that died as a result of their policies and the things that they did. Unbelievable, unbelievable. And then you have Trump, who is, Trump. He's not perfect, that's for sure. But he is a titan. He is a legend among our people. And our people, guys, we've built the best societies in the world. And so we have to, of course, be mindful of that and really support the man and get out there. I don't want to make it. Sometimes I shouldn't get too political. One of my buddies messaged me, "Hey man, keep it more about crypto." I'm like, okay, all right. But I'm sure I have people on both sides of the aisle who like it. All right, go ahead. Let's go down. Go ahead.
Finance in general, and a lot of people were happy with what he was able to do with the economy. So, what is this,
Well,
Tucker? Is this the
go ahead.
video that you tried to play earlier?
No, I'll have you play it. But just on that note, the thing is that people in the early days, they would say kind of the same thing. Bruce, don't get involved in the politics and just focus on this, that, and the other. But the truth is, and I kind of figured out along the way that crypto and politics are one and the same, guys. You can actually run an entire country using the blockchain. You can have a consensus mechanism. You can vote on it. You can,
Yes.
if we had our elections on the blockchain,
Yes. True.
yeah. So they are one and the same. Go ahead and play that video. Go ahead and play the video. Read it and play it.
Let's play this video.
This is an informed assessment of Trump. Trump's vision for America is like Studio 54 in 1978. Like, I'm serious. Trump really loved the country he grew up in. He really loved it, and he means it. He loved the people who live there. He loved its traditions, its weird little customs, its idiosyncrasies, and that's kind of what he wants. He doesn't want a brave new future of new things. He wants to return not to antebellum America, but to like 1980 America. And it's kind of hard to argue why that's bad, actually. And so that's not a revolutionary agenda, nor is it a counter-revolutionary agenda. It's a return to normalcy. And the phrase "make America great again" means return it to a period not so long ago when everyone was enfranchised and everyone had rights, but everyone was roughly, not everyone, but most people were sort of united in a sense of common purpose and culture. They were Americans, and they knew what that meant. We don't have that anymore. And that's Trump's vision. So you may not think that's possible. You may not think maybe that's even virtuous to want that. But if you think that's a grotesque hellscape that he's describing, you're the freak, not him.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Fantastic message.
It really is. You know, Tucker is one of a kind. He has really come into his own since Fox let him go. I mean, really unbelievable. I never watched the guy. I really didn't. I thought I don't know. Yeah, I just never watched him. He was a little. I don't watch TV anyway, so
I was gonna
that's
say
part of it.
you really don't watch TV at all. You would actually tell me to shut it off if we were in the same room. I think we got you buffering here. Hopefully it comes back.
Am I back now? Okay. Well,
All right.
so they've been using subliminal messaging for 50, 60, 70 years. I mean, that we know about. I mean, I can't remember the years that it really came out, but they were using subliminal messaging in TV for I don't know, decades and decades. And so to think that they all of a sudden stopped using subliminal messaging is insane. Like, you should go and have your head looked at if that's what you think, because of course they are.
I think it's more obvious than ever. I think the gist of it is that nobody thinks that they're not using subliminal messages at this point, and most people are awake to the fact that they are and that they have been. I mean, we all seen through social media old footage, old shows, old cartoons. Since for little kids, everybody's seen that they've been doing that for generations now.
Yes, exactly, and that's so. You're right. I do. I turn the TV off.
I'm like, but it's a sports game. Come on.
Even worse, I'm like bread and circus or whatever. Like, I don't know. You know, Dad was funny, right? He never really watched that much of the games. I didn't really watch any types of games, like football games or any of that stuff, until Emmy and I started dating. Now the final time, the third time or fourth time or whatever it was, and she was a cheerleader for the Capitals.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, I became a big Capitals fan. Honestly, yeah, of course. I mean, my wife was one of the cheerleaders. I don't think they have cheerleaders anymore, but there was a time there, a good 5 to 10 year stretch when they did have cheerleaders, and that was when we were there. It was a really fun time. Emmy was a cheerleader for a while, and then she coached the team. And I will always be a Capitals fan. I will always be a Washington Capitals fan, and I love playing hockey, and I enjoy watching hockey as well. I think ice hockey is one of the best sports by far.
Right. So can we pull up the next tweet is about Jean Carroll and Trump to appeal Jean Carroll?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. It's on.
So Jean Carroll, old Jean Carroll. I was talking with Randy, our main guy, I'm going to see here in New Jersey. And we were laughing this morning. The woman goes on TV. She goes on What's-His-Face's show, and she says that, however she says it, we could pull up the video, but she says that rape is sexy or can be sexy, or you can fantasize about rape or something like this. And says that's what she says, not her, I guess. This is what Randy says it anyway this morning, not her, but that's what she's heard. And I was like, so funny, because I never heard that before she said it.
Yeah.
So you have this woman who is obviously thinks a little different than most people, I would say. I would think that's pretty safe to say. I think it's pretty safe to say that most people don't think like that.
No.
And we're letting her, of course, even the fact that she was able to get this to trial or whatever they just did in New York, abomination of something, and then $89 million. I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
No, I haven't. Where is she expecting to get the $89 million from? From Trump for what?
From Trump. That
For,
was what came out of the case. So they finished the thing, and of course everyone loves Alina Habiba or whatever her name is, Haba. Um,
wow.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
It doesn't
the court.
seem like she did that great of a job to me. But yeah, $89 million he's supposed to pay.
Yeah, the court system doesn't run off of facts either. They run off of what they negotiate.
Well, and they didn't let a lot of stuff into the. They didn't let a lot of stuff into the courtroom.
Exactly.
So, and that's why Trump, of course, stormed out because they wouldn't let that interview. I think they wouldn't let that interview in, and so they wouldn't let the interview in. And then, by the sounds of it, Alina Haba or whatever her name is, his lawyer, had put it on a slide, and then it was still kind of there on the slide. And of course, the judge said no, and then he said nobody can talk as well. You're not allowed to talk. You can't talk. And
Yeah, I mean,
just really miscarriage of justice. Sad state of
exactly.
what's going on. I tell everybody all the time that you need to come to Washington, D.C. to represent yourself. And I understand people are scared to come to D.C. because of what they did to everybody after January 6th. But the Congress does not represent you. The White House does not represent you. So we have three branches of government in the United States. We have the judicial branch, which is the courts. You have the executive branch, which is the White House, and then you have the legislative branch, which is Congress. And so that's how the government runs. It runs from those three branches. We have three branches of government, and the central bank has bypassed all of them. But either way, whether you want to go down the rabbit hole, it's not really a rabbit hole, it's definitely the truth, but you want to talk about the central bank or not, you have no representation in Washington, D.C. You have zero. You have zero representation. Congress doesn't represent you. The Congress doesn't represent you. Legislative branch doesn't represent you. The executive branch, the White House, does not represent you. And the judicial branch, the Supreme Court, does not represent you. You see that they ruled that Biden and his administration, along with the Border Patrol, could continue cutting down the razor wire, which is just absolutely crazy. So you have no representation here. So there does need to be some type. People need to come to some types of terms with what we're going to do here in order to save ourselves. But the peaceful way to do that, and safe way to do that, is really through the monetary revolution, like I always talk about, and that's how we can start to take the power back from these people. People talk about not paying their taxes, guys. First of all, you're going to do two things to yourself. One, you're probably going to get yourself in trouble. Look at John McAfee. And then two, they don't care really about how much taxes you're paying. The only reason you still have to pay your tax is so that you don't have.
It also shows that they have a stronghold on you. And that's one of the big factors. And for anybody that thinks that they're not capable of helping to change, you are capable. You have a voice, you have a body, and you are actually the government. So there are different branches operating, and you are supposed to be your own branch and in charge of yourself and capable of managing your own accounts. And seems to be you're buffering a bit. So hopefully you come back online here soon. Got another one.
And we're back.
There we go.
Did my
Thank you.
computer continue working the whole time?
Well, it looks frozen.
Okay. So anyway, it's funny because I could have gone a different way, but we were doing the show, and so I wasn't following my map or anything. And then I forgot that this way is but that should be the last spot where it's like that. But anyway, we'll see. But anyway, I forget where I was at. I don't know where I cut off.
It's all right. We are going on a rant. We need to get back to the money.
We need to control the money, guys. If you control your purse string, so, and that's what that's the thing. Don't and that's like when I started talking about smart money culture TV earlier as well. If you do, I don't use more than you can, lose or anything. But if you do want to get more involved with what we're doing with Smart Money Culture TV, go to smartmoneyculture.tv and drop us a line there as well. We are expanding this network, and we'll be on more TVs. Right now, we're reaching millions of people, and that we're doing. So that's if you want to be involved there, do that. But anyway, we got to take the money back from these people. All right, go back to my feed. What do we have going on over there?
Oh man, I don't know if we want to scroll through it much. I think I found a good one here.
Okay. Yeah, you can do a search as well. I put out a lot of good information on there. But yeah, scrolling through it is not for the faint of heart. A lot of this stuff I repost, guys, as well. I'd like to say, a lot of the stuff that I repost is I don't support it, but I repost it so you see it too. So the old.
Well, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see this one about Kamala admitting the truth.
Okay, what did that say?
I don't know. Let's find out.
It's the same no matter who the Republican candidate is, the Republican nominee.
Well, let me just tell you this: no matter who the Republican nominee is, we're winning. We're winning.
You've seen the numbers, a lot. Do you think Donald Trump at this point is a foregone conclusion?
Well,
I mean, they're funny. We're winning no matter what. There's no debate against Biden because I'm already installed for the Democratic Party. There's no debate. She's lucky, man. She's lucky. She didn't have to get on the world stage and have a debate against really smart people. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was a disaster. Kamala.
That is very lucky. Very, very, very lucky.
So what do we got going on with Texas? I know we have a lot of people, of course, that are involved in our network here. Obviously, we're on TV in Texas. What are you seeing there about Texas?
Yeah, we have this. 1 second. You have some funny stuff on here. Feel free to check out Networks Manager on X.
Yes, feel free to check out.
There was a good video at the border.
So if you, the one I played earlier is pretty interesting. If you go under my media, it might be easier to grab some stuff from there.
All right. Oh man, yes, here we go. This trade-off Unreal.
Unreal. Yeah, play that clip. Pull it up. Read
Look
what
at
I
this.
said about it first.
That's Border Patrol. That's Border Patrol. So Border Patrol does go in. That's Border Patrol. It has green on it.
Reported migrant exchange at the border wall. This is supposed to be on National Guard controlled property. Wonder how much money it takes to get a busload of migrants like that into the country illegally and processed for government housing and benefits.
I wonder.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead and play that clip.
That's a Border Patrol van. So when they do this, this is sometimes a pickup spot, folks. So we'll see if anyone gets marched down or dropped off there for Border Patrol. Look, there's people getting out of that van. I can't tell what's going on. Oh, there's people getting in that van. They're doing an exchange. Let me see if I can get down here. They're doing an exchange. Yeah, look, folks. They're doing an exchange. Migrants. Look. There they are. So the van swapped them right there. Yeah. And they're doing that in an area. Look at that. And the van goes. There you go. Drop off the product, ship them onto the Border Patrol van. And now they're going. And the van's going that way.
I
Crazy,
mean, there
right?
you saw it, right?
Well, I mean, here's the
Yeah.
thing. I mean, that's obviously not people coming over the right way, right? I mean, say what you want about it, like that's not supposed to happen.
No. Nope. That's not a border crossing there.
That's something else. I guess is the clip still playing? Maybe continue playing it.
Okay.
Look at that. So it is happening at that border entrance right there at the wall. Exchanges are going on. Exchanges are going on, folks. Huh. A unmarked van sits there and waits while a Border Patrol van comes. And this is supposed to be on National Guard Texas takeover property. They're supposed to have this whole area taken over. So just east or south of these bridges over here, the bridges where you saw them, people are loaded onto the Border Patrol truck. Now that van will most likely turn left. It will go up the road, most likely to the detention center. Up the road. Wow, there's a group of them. I don't know how many there are. Now they're all going in the van. Man. Let me see if I can get a different angle. Hold on. I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to see if I can get a different angle over here. It's going to be hard because they got that tree there. Yeah, that tree's in the way. Coincidentally, that tree is right there where they're loading them in. Imagine that. Yeah, that van's going to be out of here in a second, as soon as it loads them in. Oh, there it goes. It's leaving. Border Patrol.
Anyway, yeah, I guess you can probably cut it. Let's talk about it. So, you know, and credit to the guy. What's the guy's who did the video? What's his at on Twitter on X?
JLR investigates. JLR investigates.
JLR investigates, guys. Go ahead and give him a follow. He looks like he's doing good work down there. I went over and checked out his feed, and he had some good stuff. So I think that there's a few things really about this video that are disturbing. Number one, there it is. It's like right out in the open, right? I mean, anybody could take that video. I mean, he's obviously got himself perched up. He's a quote unquote citizen journalist, I assume. And he's out there doing the work that the media is not doing. Why? Well, because the media is owned by the same central bank that owns. And let's watch that video in a second too. That's a good one, David. So what we have is they're doing it right out in the open, and yeah, that's supposed to be controlled by the National Guard there. And you see that, I mean, it's open. Why is the border open right there? You know what I mean? Why are those trucks going in and out? And that's where the money comes into play too, guys. Like, there's such big money involved in this human trafficking and bringing people in illegally through the border. Big money. I mean, are the cartels running the border? I don't know, maybe. And I mean, even if National Guard, even if they're doing mostly the right thing, are all the National Guard doing the right thing? It doesn't look like it to me. I have some questions about that. Hopefully Governor Abbott sees it and he can take some appropriate action. Why don't you play that next clip, David?
Yes.
Can you make that big so people can see what's going on? Just hit expand on the, yeah.
Oh.
Go back to the beginning of it. This is a cart, this is a crate. Yeah. So, that's and what was my comment? I mean, whatever. Is this what they call migration or whatever my comment was there? Just out of control. I mean, this stuff is out of control. So, yeah. I mean, that is, that nobody wants that stuff going on. Nobody in their right mind, anyway, wants human trafficking like that to be going on. That is obviously not good for anybody involved. So, craziness, huh?
I mean, that is the next level. I mean, that is not looking good at all.
Well, and like the guy said, I mean, those are not Hispanics, I guess. I mean, I can't see it well enough to tell you what they are.
Yeah, that is another part of it, right? Because they were claiming that they're trying to get away from cartels, but these are not people trying to get away from cartels.
Certainly doesn't look like it to me.
Well, we've seen the guy earlier who says, "You don't know who I am, but you're gonna find out." And he's not coming from a Hispanic country running from a cartel.
Yeah, if you can pull him out, that one up quickly. If you type in mischief, I don't know. I don't know whose account you're on, so maybe not. Yeah, so that was a very interesting clip. We played it this morning. The guy says, "You don't know who I am, but you're going to know very soon." You're not smart enough to know who I am, he says, but you're going to know very soon. And he was identified. And
Yes.
he is a bad dude that has spent time in jail for different terror related things. So yeah, crazy times, Sir David. Crazy times
Yeah.
for sure. One thing is, like I always talk about, guys, we need to trust each other. We need to support each other. We need to not be so hard on each other. Okay, nobody's perfect. Like, look at Trump. Trump is not perfect. Nobody is perfect. If we're trying and we're pushing for a better country, and we're pushing to save the country and to save free people around the world, we need to be accepting of each other, and we need to work together. And I firmly believe the way that we can do this is peacefully. We can peacefully take the power back from these people by taking the money back from the people. You don't need to run on a bank. You don't need any type of violence. You just need to trade what you don't need into different assets that cannot be inflated, whether it's Bitcoin or Litecoin or Global Boost, gold, silver, and that's how we can start to take the money, take the power back from these people. Really important that we do that, and then we'll start to see, that we're able to take the power back from these people, because right now they're able to just fund everything that they want, and that's how we can take the power back. So another good show. I appreciate you guys sticking with us as we went here through the some of the trials of going on live TV, and as we're driving down the highway. So thanks for sticking with us, David. Always a pleasure, my brother.
Thank you, Bruce. You never seem to amaze us with your work ethic and the amount of multitasking you can do. Everybody, we'll see you again soon.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Your
Cheers.
voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.